I miss the days when daytime TV was filled with soaps and game shows.
Now available for the first time in paperback. Stop Simping in the Workplace. Men, learn what you need to know in order to protect your job from workplace predators with Stop Simping in the Workplace. Available in paperback at online booksellers everywhere.
Good Morning America talk show host TJ Holmes should have picked up my book Stop Simpin' in the Workplace. And the reason why I say Good Morning America 3 talk show host TJ Holmes should have picked up my book Stop Simpin' in the Workplace is because had he read my book Stop Simpin' in the Workplace, he wouldn't be in the scandal he's in right now. Now, your TJ Holmes had a major scandal come up on him last week when it was revealed that he had an alleged months-long affair with his co-host, Amy Robach, a white woman. Now, your TJ Holmes basically violated one of the major rules that men are told early on not to participate in, and that is crapping where you eat. And now your TJ Holmes has basically made a mess of his professional career because as a black man, he basically is at the point where he's just waiting for the pink slip because he decided to go out here and crap where he ate, going out here getting involved with women on the job. Now you would think that TJ Holmes would have learned some lessons from the entire Me Too movement that basically led to Bill Cosby doing 3 years in prison for a sex crime he did not commit. Unfortunately, he doesn't seem to have learned a single thing from the entire Me Too scandal that took place from about 2016 all the way up until about 2021 or so. And it seems like your TJ Holmes really didn't want to connect the dots and understand that in this era of Me Too, that men in the workplace have to move in a completely different fashion than they did back in the day. Because in today's era of Me Too, all it takes is a simple allegation by a woman, and a man can basically wind up losing his job, lose his career, and lose his freedom. Unfortunately, I believe your TJ Holmes was so spellbound by all of those white and non-black women that he wound up in the same lust that your Celtics head coach Ime Udoka allegedly got caught up in when he saw all of these white and non-black women. And because your TJ Holmes saw all of these white and non-black women, he went into full buck mode and was out here trying to get with all of these white and non-black women, starting out with an affair he was having as related to an Indian co-worker who was working at Good Morning America. And it doesn't seem like your TJ Holmes understood what the boundaries were as related to the workplace because he was so caught up in his lust for some non-black draws and the chance that an Indian woman would be dropping a skid mark thong for him that he was not thinking about more important things like his financial stability, his career, his professional reputation, or even his marriage. Because yes, your TJ Holmes was a married man, and I believe your TJ Holmes was married to a black woman, but that didn't stop your TJ Holmes from wanting to go out here and try to get with women at the workplace, putting himself in jeopardy. He probably thought, oh, he had arrived, because this is what happens with many of these educated professional black men. A lot of them think that they have arrived, and they think that since they have arrived because they are educated professionals, that they have a right to go out here and get with all of the honeys at the job, not understanding all of those honeys can make things really sour for them if things go wrong. And your TJ Holmes went on for an extended period of time, going from having a 3-year affair with this Indian woman, allegedly, to going out here and having an affair with the married white woman, Amy Robach. And as he went out here having this affair with your Amy Robach, that's when the scandal erupted. And I doubt the scandal would have erupted had it been talking about the Indian woman he had been involved with. But when it became about the white woman, that's when the mainstream media started to have a serious problem with your TJ Holmes. And the problem they had with your TJ Holmes is that they saw a black professional getting involved with an attractive white woman at the workplace, and that was something that your white supremacist in mainstream media was not going to allow to go on, because the whole idea of a married black man getting involved with a married white woman, that takes the white woman off the pedestal that many in white supremacy put her on, and shows that she has a low moral position because she was out here getting involved with this black man who basically was breathing brand new life, allegedly, into the old stereotypes regarding your heterosexual black men. Because that's basically what your TJ Holmes was doing when he was out here having these affairs. He was basically going out here and breathing brand new life into the old stereotypes that many white racists have regarding heterosexual black men in the workplace. And he was proving their point as related to why they need to be afraid of educated professional black men in the workplace. And he was out here basically making them scared, because one of the great fears that your white supremacists in the workplace have regarding heterosexual black men being on the job is that they're going to go out here and be lusting after these white and non-black women and going out here looking to run through all of these women. Now, your TJ Holmes, as I see it, basically wasn't a very smart man, because he was out here a married man getting involved with women on his job, and going out here again and getting involved with women at your job is never a smart thing, because again, when you crap where you eat, you make a mess where you make a complete mess of all of your food and your way to go out here and make a living. So your TJ Holmes was a workplace simp, and a workplace simp who came into the job not understanding the whole concept of boundaries in the workplace. And when you are in the workplace, any woman who's in that workplace is off limits as related to dating, relationships, and any sort of further relationships such as marriage. And the reason why you don't want to get involved with women on the job is because women on the job can tune you up in the worst way. Because with your TJ Holmes, with him having an affair with the Indian producer, she could have easily flipped him later on as related to an allegation of sexual harassment, or she could have also flipped him as related to violating non-fraternization rules. And the same thing with your Amy Robach. They could have flipped him had this scandal not exploded on him. Now, in the aftermath of this whole scandal, your TJ Holmes has been put on suspension, and as I see it, he possibly is on the road to possibly winding up losing his job. And the sad part is that you've got this educated, professional, married black man about to possibly lose his job, and he's possibly going to lose his job because he wanted to go out here and step to the women at his job and get them to step out of the skid mark thong, get him a taste of the atomic waste, and then once he got that taste of the atomic waste, he was going to go out here and have relationships with these women. Again, something a smart man would never do, because he understands as a black man, you're being watched. As a black man, there's a target on your back. And if you involve yourself in behaviors that are inappropriate on the job, you're going to get flipped. And you're going to get flipped as related to either somebody on the job flipping you, or one of these women, when things get sour, going down to HR. So as a black man, your TJ Holmes was not a very smart man. No, he was too caught up in the attention he was getting from the women at the job. He was too caught up in the attention he was getting from these women who were out here probably throwing themselves at him for attention. And as they were going out here getting their chocolate sexual fetish, he was not thinking about his financial future. He was not thinking about his long-term career. And now all of that is in jeopardy because we know in the system of American white supremacy, they are going to go out here and heavily punish your TJ Holmes for going out here and violating not the corporate rules as related to fraternization between coworkers or sexual harassment or even the moral position of adulterous affairs. No, what they're going to do is punish your TJ Holmes, a black man, for violating the unwritten social rules of white supremacy by being a black man who has gone out here and gotten involved with a non-black woman and, most importantly, a white woman. And because when it comes down to your white supremacists, they go out here and handpick these bootlicks, and they think that these bootlicks will go out here and do their job. But your TJ Holmes was out here putting in work with that carbon rod in these women's atomic waste reactors, and he was out here going out here causing some nuclear fusion, and that fusion is going to lead to him being separated from his job because, again, the institution of white supremacy does not like the idea of a black man going out here and tomcatting around with their women, and that's something that they're going to punish your TJ Holmes for. Now, I'm sure over at Good Morning America, like at the NBC's Today Show, if this was a white guy like that, like alleged sexual deviant Matt Lauer, they would have allowed him to stay on the job for an extended period of time and wouldn't have said a word about it because your white females are hypergamous and they go out here monkey branching from guy to guy, and as long as they're getting involved with married white men, they don't have a problem getting involved with married white men. But your TJ Holmes, a black man going out here and getting involved with these white women, that was something that these white supremacists had a problem with, and this is where the major scandal came up because they didn't like the idea of this black man going out here and again causing some nuclear fusion with that big black carbon rod getting into these different atomic waste reactors. That was something that they had a problem with. But the real problem I see is that your TJ Holmes really wasn't on code. And because he wasn't on code, what happened was he jammed himself up because he was thinking, oh, what happened to Bill Cosby can't happen to me. And really, he was, because I don't know how old this man is, because he says he's 45, so I don't think he was around when the Clarence Thomas scandal was, because when I was 17, 18, and I heard about the Clarence Thomas scandal as related to Anita Hill's allegations of sexual harassment, that made me realize I needed to get on code and realize that any woman at the job is off limits. So your TJ Holmes, I don't think saw what happened with Clarence Thomas, but I know he definitely saw what happened with Bill Cosby, because Bill Cosby's scandal just came about 5 years ago, and every guy out here, when they saw what happened to Bill Cosby, whether they be white, black, Hispanic, I mean, you can go to Terrence Popp's channel or anybody else's channel, they'll tell you about getting on code and understanding that when you go into that workplace, you need to watch yourself and you need to go out here and put a hard boundary between yourself and the women at work. Because again, all it takes is one allegation as related to a scandal in this era of Me Too, which some people think is over, but is not over, because as long as the Weinstein conviction remains on the books, every man out here has to deal with the fact that we still live under the standard of trust and believe, and under that standard, a man is not innocent until proven guilty on the job. And what your TJ Holmes did was basically make a mountain of evidence by getting under all of these different women who could come out and say that he was having affairs with them. And again, your white supremacists, they wouldn't mind if a white guy was out here smashing all of these women who as side pieces. But the black man, if he goes out here and smashes those women, they're going to wind up looking to smash him. And that's exactly what they're doing with your TJ Holmes, who definitely did not get the memo as related to the workplace. And that's why he's out here simping in the workplace, getting with married women, allegedly. And as he got involved with women, allegedly, he was having affairs with, this basically led to him putting himself in a situation where he was going to basically put a career in jeopardy. And as he put his career in jeopardy, he's basically waiting for the pink slip, because again, in the entertainment industry, it's not a favorable environment to heterosexual black men. So they're basically waiting to see whether they want to go out here and find a way to fire your TJ Holmes in the most humiliating way. And meanwhile, your Amy Robach possibly will be coming back, because that's just how it's done in this system of white supremacy, sadly. But your TJ Holmes, a black man, somebody should have pulled him to the side. Somebody should have given him my book, Stop Simping in the Workplace. And somebody should have looked at him and told him what the deal was, because now this brother is about to be out of a job and possibly be out of a career. And meanwhile, your Amy Robach, after having an affair with this dude, even though those white men consider her damaged goods, she's going to be back on the job, possibly guaranteed. And then he's going to be the one out here, and again, all out, assed out, because he wanted to go out here and get a taste of that vanilla atomic waste. Now, if you want to avoid winding up getting jammed up like a TJ Holmes, you should pick up my book, Stop Simping in the Workplace. And in that book, I go in detail on how to avoid workplace female predators who can put your career, your freedom, and your marriage in jeopardy. And in that book, I detail what a man needs to do when he's in the workplace, so he can avoid becoming a workplace simp like a TJ Holmes, and not get tricked out of a great professional career. Now, that book, Stop Simping in the Workplace, and my other books in the Simp series, like Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, and Stop Simping in Cyberspace, are available on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format, along with my other men's issues books like Why 70% of Black Women Are Single and The Man Crisis. And you can find, again, all of those books at all online booksellers like Amazon, Barnes & Noble, the iBookstore, and Google Play. And if you want to see me make more videos like this about workplace situations, you can you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spellbound, A Darker Shade of Black. Get your copy today at your favorite online bookseller. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spinsterella. Discover the dark side of love in this goth and lovely romance with Spinsterella. Get Spinsterella in paperback and e-readers at your favorite online bookseller today.